Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be making leads, and it's been a long time since I've made leads. First leads I ever made was these guys, the bell-shaped ones. This was a long time ago. I was in my dad's back garden just fiddling away, and yeah, that's what I made. Don't know why I made them, didn't need them, but I made them. So I've got, like I said, I've got a few bell-shaped leads here, a couple of smaller ones that I'm not going to use, and I've also got a couple of leads that we found on beach. You know, you always pick them up, and then they all just build up in the shed or whatever, ready to get melted again. So I'll show you now. Look, now we've got a good bunch to melt. I haven't got a lot of lead, but there's enough there to make a few more weights. I'm running a bit low on grip lead, so that's what we're making today. And the mold that I'm going to be using is this one here. It's a 6-ounce mold. Not sure of the name. It's got the initials, you could say, there, but that's what I'm using today. And they come with pins, so then they have the holes ready to put the wires in. Talking of wires, there's the grip wires that I'll be using. You get in a little packet like this, and I'm also going to be putting these red tubes on the end of the wires. You'll see later on in the video. But then I've got these also, which are the eyes for the lead itself. But you can't use them like this, so I'm going to have to chop them in half and put like a little hook on, just so then it grips, so the lead grips the eyes, if you know what I mean. For tools that I'm going to be using, pliers, long nose pliers, you never know. Of course you need your pan. And then I've got these welding gloves, very essential. And I'm going to be putting on a face mask, because I'm in a small shed. I'm going to be putting on a face mask just so I'm not breathing in the toxic fumes. But what I'm going to be using to melt the lead is this bad boy. I'm not sure if this will last for the whole thing, but I'm hoping it does. Because if it doesn't, I'll have to go and buy a new one of these. But we'll just get as many done as we can with just this one tank. So yeah. Well, oh, and also what I'm gripping the mold with is a vice right here. Okay, I was looking to see if I can get any of them clamps that, you know, where the what do you call them, market people use when they put the tarpaulin over the top of the frames of the markets, and they get like the metal clamps. I wanted some of them to basically clamp the mold together like this, so one there and one there, but I couldn't get any. So we'll just have to use the vice and hope and pray that works. So let me get some of these eyes prepared, because I need to cut some and put some hooks on the end of them. And I've got to warm up the mold first, and then we're ready to go, boys and girls. So stay tuned and we'll see what happens. Right guys, it's been a good few minutes, because I didn't expect the eyes of these things to be quite hard to snap. Well, my pliers wouldn't do it. My little hacksaw took a while to do it, and now that's blunt. So I've managed to make 14. 14 will have to do for now, just to give it a bit of a test until I can find a good pair of wire snips, so I can snap these bad boys in half and then get them twisted into the little hook shape at the end there, just so then it hooks the lead on, really, so that it doesn't fall apart. So now I'm gonna fire up this little stove out there, camping stove thingy, get it fired up, get the mold nice and warm, get the wires in, pour the lead in. Bob's your uncle. Right guys, as you can see, I've got the thing fired up. Well, you probably can't see, but it's fired up. As you can maybe see the heat coming off, and you can see the flame underneath. Look, well, it's fired up. I'm just gonna get the right angle on this camera. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick the mold in first, just to warm it up, because apparently it needs to be warm before you can pour any lead in it at all. Remember to stick your gloves on. There. As you can maybe see there, I've laid it flat, nice and flat inside, just to make it nice and warm. And then once it's warm enough, I'll tip it out onto the floor here, and I'll pick it up and I'll put these pins in and then I'll get it ready to, well actually I need to put some lead in first and get some lead melted first, don't I? Right, I've just put two small bells in and half of a lead that I found out on the beach. So I'm just going to see how long it takes to melt, and like I say, we'll let you know, see how long it takes. On these bell weights, I've already got a loop in, so once it melts, I'm going to have to dig around with a screwdriver or a pair of pliers and pull them out before you can tip. It's common sense, isn't it? I forgot my mask as well, so I'm going to put that on. Okay guys, do you think this is safe enough? Nah, I'm only joking. There. There you are, see. No, it's not going to keep me 100% safe, but it's better than nothing in it. Yeah, no signs of melting yet, so like I said, we'll get back to you as soon as it starts to melt. There you go guys, as you can see, it's starting to melt now. Well, see, right there is one of the pins and hooks that was inside, so you need to take all of that out. So I'll just scrub that out on the outside for now. There's the other one. There's the other pin. Scrub that outside. The outside's nice and wet anyway, so it'll cool down eventually. Right, so all that lead inside there is melted already, so we'll throw a few more leads in. We'll scrub these three in. I'm just going to make sure, place it nice and gently, so it doesn't splash, and gloves. There you are. Now we'll let them ones melt, and then we'll, like I said, we'll get a good level of lead in there, and then we'll get the mold ready on the vise, and we're ready to go. Alright guys, the lead is ready to pour, and so we've got the lead ready with the pins in. These pins that come with it, you just put them into the hole like this, all the way through to the bottom, to come out the other end, and just leave it like that. And then you've got to get and the eye sits in a hole right there, see it? It's gonna shimmy in like so. There, like that. Okay. It really depends. Like the further it's out, the more aerodynamic apparently it is. But I like to have mine nice and close, just to get plenty of grip. And then once it's in, you fasten it on your clamp or your vise. In my case, I'm using a vise there. So you've got your eye placed, your mold's tight, your pins are in, it's ready to go. Now this is where I need to be careful, because I don't want to burn myself. What I need to do first is I need to make sure all the dirt from all the old lead is swept to one side, and you do that gently with a screwdriver, flat-ended screwdriver or anything, just to put it to one side, and then you carefully pour it in. Like so. Wait until it hardens. Pull the pins out. This way you need a second glove. So what you can do now is, once you've poured it, get your pliers, pull them pins out if you can. There's one. Like, be careful, because them pins will be hot. Like so. Pull the pins out, and then it should open, and then it should look beautiful like that. But clamp down. There you are. Your mold down, sorry. And then what you can do, once this is cooled down, you can cut that bit off and then put it back into remelt. So there, that's the first lead made. Only a little issue, I think these need to be a bit longer. I've cut them a bit too short because, as you can see, it's starting to come through. It was coming through the side of the lead there. See it? But it really doesn't matter. As long as that holds, which it is, it's not moving at all. That'll do me fine. All I need to do now is put my wires in, but I'll do that later once it's cooled down. Let's leave it on the floor for now, and we'll get another one prepped right now. So I'm going to do a bunch. I'll do one more on camera, and then I'll do the rest off camera until we get to the point where I need to put the wires in, and put the grip wires on. So we'll see when I get the next one ready. Alright guys, so time to get another one ready. So you get your mold, put it together, and then where your pour hole is, where you pour your lead, you put that facing up. You get your pin, you put on the top hole there, facing going in like that, and then you get the other one, and you want to put that on the opposite side, in the opposite hole at the top there. Put it in the hole, jiggle it in until it falls right through, so it looks like that, and then you get your eye for your lead, and then you gently open it up slightly so you can get the eye in. It's quite hard when you've got big thick gloves on. Let's see if I can do it with a pair of pliers instead. Actually, this won't be too hot with it. The only thing is I can't touch the mold because the mold will be still very hot. Right, I'm going to push this one right up flush. I'll show you what I mean. Because as I showed you on the last one I made, the first one, I left a little bit sticking out. So this one I've put it right flush, right up against it. So now I'm going to fasten this up into the vise. Like so. Clamp it in tight. Lead is ready. So what, we'll put the camera so you can see a better view. Just unplug you for a sec, there you are. Right, now I just need to pour. But like I said, before you pour, wash all the dirt from the old leads you've just melted. Smash was calling them impurities, so now I'll just gently tip the nice clean lead nice and gently into the mold, nice and slowly, and then when it hits there, that's when you've had enough. Wait until it hardens a little bit. You'll know when it hardens because it'll form like a little hole on the top. So that's gone off now. So next step, pull the wires out. Right, this is hard. With a thick glove on. Just need to make sure not to touch it. If you touch it, it will hurt. Yeah, pull that pin out. Then pull that pin out, and I can feel the heat coming through this glove already. Then once that's done, once you pull the pins out, stick your glove back on, separate it, like so, and there is your lead, like so. A nice, beautiful, clean lead. Like I say, you can chop that off, put it back in, remelt it, and then once, and as you can see, look, all the holes there are ready for me to put the wires in for the grip leads. So I'm going to carry on, guys, and make as many as I can, and then once these have cooled down, we'll put the wires in. Okay, I'll be back. Right guys, it's been a while since the last clip. I've finished making the leads now. I'm just letting them cool down. there's a couple other bits and bobs before I have to do before I start putting the wires in. But I just thought I'd let you know the reason why I've stopped is because I ran out of these. Well, not that I ran out with the smaller ones. You know, the smaller ones that I've already cut in half and put a little hook on, so then they look like that. Well, I decided to use the rest of the lead and make longer ones like that. See the difference? Apparently, the longer ones like this with a longer shaft have it's easier to get distance, and you know they fly through the air a lot easier or something like that. I don't know. It's just stuff I've heard on YouTube. See, so thought I'd just give them a shot. See, there's a couple of things I need to do. I need to rip these off on some of them. But how many did we make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We made 19, which is not too bad really. The only leads I didn't melt, I did tell you I was going to melt the big bells, but I managed to melt all the other leads that I found that were in this kind of shape, and a couple of the smaller bells, and I left all the bigger ones to last because I wasn't sure how much gas I had left, and I didn't want to start melting this and then it run out of gas, you know what I mean? So I left the big ones to last, which was good because I've run out of clips anyway, but I've run out of eyes, sorry. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to find, go buy a nice pair of good sharp snips to cut them in half, and then we can start making more in the future. But I think I've got plenty now. Like I said, just letting them cool down and cut these bits off, and then we'll start putting some wires in. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to just chop these bits off. Just need to find something decent to snap them off with. Normally, like you just grab out of it and then twist it, just pull off like that. Right, so just put them to one side, and you can melt them in the future when you do leads again. You know, you don't want to strip all precious lead away. Right, I'll do all this, and when you get to the wires, I'll show you the rest. Right guys, they're all done. So what I want to also mention is, if you look at this one, it's all nice and squared at the top, right? And then if you look at this one, it's not. The reason is, I didn't see this on any tutorial on YouTube so far, not that I've seen anywhere. The only reason why it's done that is because the eye was cold. Because it was freezing cold, you need to heat these up before you pour the lead into the mold, and then it will form around the eye nice and flush and square like this one. But if you don't and they're cold, they'll end up like this one. But because these are homemade, I'm not selling these, so these are mine, so I'm not really bothered how they look, to be honest. As long as the eye is nice and formed and I can get wires in there in these little holes, then I'm happy as Larry. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to get some of these wires out and we're going to start putting these together. Right guys, we're going to start putting some wire in. So we'll get one of these, right? And then, right, this is the first time I've ever done it, so I'm just copying what I've seen on YouTube. So first of all, you put your wire straight through. You go in the middle. I'm going to guess about there. In some molds, you can get a measuring tool. It's just like a flat piece of metal with a little lip on that you basically measure across just to find the right length, right? But I'm just gonna guesstimate it. All right. I'm gonna say that's about halfway, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fold both up like so. And then for the first attempt, I was 1 mil off, right? And then once you get to that point, I think, like I say, this is all brand new to me. I'm gonna stick 2 of these red plastic tubes on top like so. And then once you do that, get one, bend it this way, get the other one, bend it this way, so it looks like that, so you've got like a cross. And then you just fold them back on themselves like so, and then where the red piece is sitting in the groove, put your thumb there, bend out, put your thumb there, bend out, and there you go. There's one wire. Next one, some reason there I thought I got a different wire. Thought there were different thickness there, but right, same thing. Wires in, guesstimate it, or you can measure it. It's up to you. If you want it, if you want it look to professional, then you measure it. But I don't really matter as long as it takes a grip in the sand. I'm not bothered. Like I say, that wasn't a bad guess either. Red tubes on. Like so. Then on its away from itself, and again that way, so it looks like you've got the crisscross. Lock them in, like so. Get your thumb, bend away, get your thumb, push tight up against the lid like there, and then push away, and there you go. There's your first grip lead, and I'm absolutely buzzing with that. Like I say, the way the grip lead works, it's common sense. Getting the cast out, hits the sand, digs into the sand like so. When you pull, they pop out, and you're free, and then you can get your lead back. So there you go, guys. That's how you make leads. That was my second ever attempt, and that there was my first ever attempt on putting wires in as well, and I'm happy with it. So I'm going to crack on, guys, and start putting all the wires in all of these leads. Alright guys, I'm going to do one more lead on camera, just to make it as clear as I possibly can, just in case the last one wasn't, okay? But like I say, you get your lead that you've just made, and once it's cooled down enough to handle, get yourself your wires, put your wire through the little holes at the bottom that was made by, where did I put them? The little, oh there we are, the little pins. These little pins that come with the molds, once you've pulled them out, the holes will stay formed into the lead, so then when it dries up, they're easier for you to put the wires in like this, okay? So once you get into this position where you put your wires through, you find the middle. Some mold kits will come with a measuring tool, some don't, but like I say, if you're on personal leads, you're really not should be that bothered really. I'm not bothered. These are my personal leads, so I'm not bothered if they're going to be exactly in the middle. But in my case, that's about middle, and then for me to pin it, I hold it there just to pin it between my finger and my thumb there, just to push it up so it doesn't come loose when I turn it. And then once you get to this point, you turn it, you push both wires towards this way, towards the point of the lead. Right? Once you get to this point, you get your little plastic tubing there, thread it onto the wires like so. See, some molds will come with a deeper groove there, so you can put a bead in, but this one's got a narrow groove. So these leads are made for these little plastic ones, which are these. That's all it is. And all you have to do, like I say, just thread them on like so. And once you get to this point, fold it up. Make sure the plastic red bits, the pieces are down at the bottom. You get your thumb, push it up hard against this one, or whichever side you want. Push it up hard against the lead, and then you pull it down like this. And do the same with the other one. Pull it down like this, and then fold it out again. Pinch where the two bends are, push them together, and then that'll lock perfectly inside there like that. And you just repeat the process. Can't speak English today, guys. Again, put your wire through. Have a guess where the center is. Push up like so. Put either your bead or your tubing on, whichever design of mold you have. Once you get to this point, fold them up like so, and then pinch with your index finger and your thumb. Pinch them together quite tight. the top of the wire here, bend it towards your thumb, turn it round, do the same, and once you've done that, open it up, get the two grooves, push them together, and there you go. Boom, you've got yourself a grip lead. Right guys, I'm just going to crack on with the rest now off camera, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Right guys, there you are, all done. How many did I say I had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 leads I made. And they've all got the grips in, they've all got the little red tubes on, all ready to go. And like I say, look, we've got 4, we've got with longer shafts, and then the rest of them, they've all got the shorter shafts. Right guys, so that's it. We've made our own homemade leads. Fine, well, I've made homemade leads in the past, as you can see. I've made the big bells, but that was a long time ago. But I've never made my own grip leads before, and I'm absolutely proud of them. I really am. Like I say, all them leads there that I've made today will last me a long time. And like I say, I don't think I'll ever probably buy leads anymore. I'll probably just go and make my own, or if find any from the beach of like a long collection of leads that I've found off the beach, I'll probably just do the same thing I did today. I'll just melt them and make my own in the future if I ever run out. So there you go. It's easily done, guys. Like I said, just make sure you've got your safety precautions, you've got your gloves, you've got pliers, you've got like maybe it's like a bucket of water outside just in case. You know, like all I done was use my camping stove to melt the lead. Sorry. And yeah, and like I say, your wires. Like I say, some molds will say with the grooves inside. Some molds will have like a deeper groove, so then you can put beads in instead of these red tubes. But like I say, there's loads and loads of different types of molds out there. But the leads that I've been, like the basic plain grip lead, is basically this. You can't go wrong with just a basic lead, really. But that's it, the end of today's video, guys. If you want some merch, link will be in the description. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.